Today we'll be working on the last lesson of our coordinate planes unit, lesson 6, creating figures on the coordinate plane. So geometric figures or shapes can be formed using line segments and endpoints. So line segments are the part of a line that connects two points. Endpoints are the ends of the line segment. They mark the ends of the line segment. For example 1, we'll use the graph to draw our first figure. So for step A, let's place a coordinate at the point -3, 2. So start in the middle, go over to the -3, and then up to the 2. So our point's going to go right here, and that is, I'll just call it A so that we remember that that was step A. Draw a line segment that extends 6 units from the point. It doesn't tell me anything about a direction, so I have some options here. As long as I go 6 spaces, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's one option. Okay. I could go straight down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could go, let's see, straight up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or I could have gone to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So actually, I had 4 different options here. So if you were to, we'll skip part C, but essentially, there's 4 options because you can go straight up, straight down, to the left, or to the right. So here's our endpoints that we got as options. We had -9, 2. In the pink, we had -3 down to the -4. In the teal, we had 3, 2. And in the orange, we had -3, 8. Okay, so notice that with the original point, we're either sharing the 2 or we're sharing the -3. And that means that you've made a straight line, either vertical or horizontal. And you can then count the distance, the length of that line. Okay, let's try number 2. Complete the table and sketch the figures on the coordinate plane below. So it looks like we have a picture of A. For B, we just know the perimeter. For C, we just know the area. And for D, we just know the side lengths. And then again, for E, we just know the perimeter. It's kind of like puzzling this out. So for A, the side lengths are all 3, given by this. And if we want the perimeter, we're going to add the sides versus area, which is the length times the width. So for the perimeter, we're going to do 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. That's going to give us 12. For the area, we're just going to do, length times width. So we'll do length times width. 3 times 3 is 9. And then we say units squared because it's 2 dimensions. For B, we need something that's 18 units within perimeter. So I'm just going to start drawing. I know that to get 18, I basically just need to pick what I want to count by here. So if I were to make this 2, that would be another 2 on the other side, however tall I make it, right? So then we'd be at 4. And if we did 18 minus 4, we'd have 14 left over. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by 2 should work. And we can just double check. It's just like puzzling it out. So 2 plus 7 is 9, plus 2 is 11, plus 7 is 18. So it worked out for our perimeter. So our sides are going to be 2 by 7. There are other options. And then for the area, we just do length times width, 2 times 7. So we get 14 units squared because it's area. Okay, so I'm just making these up. It's totally up to me. Now, for C, we need something with an area of 30. So I need a length times a width that's 30. So anything that's going to multiply to 30 would work. So we could do 6 times 5. So I'm going to make my shape 6 by 5. So if I come over here, I could just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to do by 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this is 6, and this is 5 again. So 6 by 5. This is 6. This is 5. This is shape C. All we need now is the perimeter. So go ahead and add all the sides. 5 and 5 is 10. 6 and 6 is 12. 10 plus 12, 22 units. Again, these are completely up to us, these ones with the perimeter and area. We can decide what shape we want to make. How long we want it to be, how wide we want it to be. Okay, now we need a shape that's 2 by 5. So I'm going to just draw that over here. So how about 2 by 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 by 5, and that's going to be shape D. These are 2. These are 5. Okay? The perimeter is if I add all the sides. So 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 2 is 12, plus another 2 would give me 14 units. Notice with area that I am just going to multiply the length and the width, or you could just count how many boxes are inside. That's what area literally means. It's how many squares fit inside. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The same as what you would get if you just did length times width, 5 times 2. Okay, and our last shape asks us to have a perimeter of 16. So I'm just going to pick a number to start. How about the number 3? So if I make a shape that is 3 tall, that means I've got 2 sides that are worth 3, which is going to be a total of 6. And I still need to find 10 more. So to get that total of 10, I'm going to have one side that's 5 and the opposite side that's also 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here's where my shape's going to go. Whoops. So this is 3 and 3, which is 6. 5 and 5, which is 10. Total, 16. So it works out. Our shape is 3 by 5, and that is E. Now again, if you want the area, you can count them all. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Or you can just do 3 times 5 is 15. That's what area is. Length times width. Okay? For our last example, example 3, we want to create any shape that's either triangular or rectangular. I'm going to go with a rectangle just because I think we're more familiar with those. And we need to meet these requirements. The area needs to be greater than 250 units squared. So remember, area of a rectangle is length times width. We don't know much about triangles yet, so we're not going to look at that. The images have to fit on the coordinate plane, so it can't be too big. And the shape can't have a side that's on one of the axes, so it can't be like on these thicker, darker lines where the axes are. Okay? I'm just going to pick a random point, and we'll go from there. So here, how about negative 10, 15? Negative 10, 15. Now, this is 15. I'm going to just keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a total of 20. And then how about, this is 10, so let's do 10 and then do 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that should work out to be big enough so that our area is big enough. So if the area has to be greater than 250, it literally means that we need more than 250 squares to fit inside of here. So fast way is just to do 20 times 15. I don't want to count them all. So 0, 10, placeholder, 1 times 0 is 0. And then we'll get 2 times 1 is 2. And add this up, we get 300. So that's perfect. We got 300 units squared. That's greater than 200. It fit on our coordinate plane, and we didn't have any sides that ended up directly on the axes. So there's our shape.